Thomas here, and I want to do a follow-up video to the video titled "To Touch a Killer" because there seems to be an increase of interest in it as of late, and people are asking questions and making comments, and it does indeed deserve more attention to detail. First, let me acknowledge the photographer Lalo, who became a friend of mine in 2004 when I went to South Africa to work with white sharks for the first time. The other person, the person in the photographs, is Grant Tuckett, also a friend that I made in 2004 in South Africa. In fact, I can show you the whole photo sequence in print. I'll pull it out of storage. So here it is. And in 2007, when I got back from South Africa, I asked Lalo if I could do a composite of this and hang it up at cafes around San Francisco when I was actively trying to teach people and doing a little thing I called the White Shark Cafe gallery tour. I can't hang it up where I live because people always ask me if the guy in the photo is me, and I have to reluctantly admit that it isn't. So every photo in the sequence is of the same shark. This is an important detail because it highlights the fact that that shark stayed with the boat for a very long time. Even sharks that are interested in the bait don't stay with a boat for that long. So as some of you pointed out, this shark was showing a very unique individual personality. Some people said that the shark looked kind of old, and another person said the shark appeared to be missing teeth. So I want to address that quickly. Very often when a white shark is swimming around, you're not seeing a whole lot of teeth. The mouth is just a little bit agape, and if you see any teeth, it's the lower jaw. They're just letting the water come into their mouth and out through the gills. The upper jaw comes unhinged from the skull and moves forward. You do not see that until it is done for a specific purpose, whether that is some sort of display, communication, or the very act of biting. So here it is again, that same shark, except now with that incredible jaw that comes unhinged moving forward. This will lead to a lot of people saying, look, he's trying to bite that person. Well, you know, it's a stimulus of some kind. The jaw moves forward, probably somewhat instinctually or reactively anytime the snout comes into touch with something. Or maybe you're right, maybe it's trying to bite the person. Although I think the person in the photograph featured in the original video, the photographer and the other people on the boat, would probably disagree. The shark was very calm, very chill, and allowed itself to be raised from the water in a slow manner. There was no lunging or jumping or attacking or ambushing. As the subject of the film said, it returned to the same boat multiple times where he was standing. It did not go to where the bait had been earlier in the day. It didn't go to where the cage was. It wasn't investigating the electric stimuli coming from the motors. It was going to that spot. That's pretty interesting. I can't tell you exactly what was in the shark's mind or anything else about that shark, except that it seemed to be genuinely curious, maybe even enjoying the interaction. Other people want to say that, well, clearly this shark wasn't hungry. The shark must have been full. I don't think you're giving sharks enough credit if you think that the only reason they would show curiosity or interest in something else rather than trying to kill it is because they weren't hungry. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't hungry, but you have to accept some other possibilities of why a shark wouldn't kill something other than that it was full. Someone mentioned that this is referred to as a player shark. That is true. Andre Hartman and Michael Rutzen, who was the apprentice of Andre Hartman, use this term player, as do other people. This action is sometimes referred to as spy hopping. That's what makes it easier for this sort of interaction to happen if the shark is the type that is prone to lift its head above the water and look around, which is, in my opinion, a display of curiosity. At that point, the person can use their hand to guide the shark up out of the water using their hand as stimuli. This happened shortly before I arrived, and then I got it on film, and then I saw it again in 2007. And those were the good old days. You're officially not allowed to do that anymore. That's for the shark's protection, but it's probably more to prevent lawsuits from happening from people who try to do it and get hurt. Maybe it should be outlawed, maybe it shouldn't, but I am glad that this interaction was captured on camera because at least it makes you consider some things about the shark that you might not have otherwise considered. Lalo, now that you live in California, would you like to have this giant photo? Shout out to my new patrons, and for those of you following, let me know if you liked this video and if you want even more of a follow-up on this particular behavior.